G'day, how you going? Ianapolis here, your acrylic guru from Australia. I haven't done a video in a while, but I thought I'd better get something out there for all my subscribers there so I don't leave you in the lurch, because I'm busy with my work, my roofing work, and when I've got time I like to do this, but I thought I'd better make some time just to let you know I'm still around. And I would like you to check the links in the descriptions below, because there's one for my Facebook page. You can add me on Facebook, send me a message and tell me you saw me on YouTube and I'll accept you. I know you're not a scam. And there's also a link to my video library. I have over 180 videos in there, and you can see just what's in my catalogue. Now today, I'm quite happy. I don't know what I'm going to paint. I made a canvas up and I'm going to tell you what I've done today. So today I'm just touching base with all my subscribers there. And I love buying stuff, opening stuff, and I've got three more paints. I've got a French ultramarine, titanium white, and a toning grey. Thought I'd stock up some paints there. And when I was there, I was looking for some canvas, because I haven't had any canvases for a while, and I've got to make my own. I found this big roll of canvas. It's about, it was in yards. We don't do yards in Australia. We do metres and millimetres. But I worked it out. This is just an odd size board I had, so I cut some of this out and glued it on there, okay? That's a foam board, a form board that's very good quality, and it's got now a good quality canvas glued to that. But out of here, I can get 325 of my normal A3 size canvas panels out of this roll, and it's going to work out $1.80 per my canvas. But it means spending up big in the beginning, but in the long run, I'll have quite a few canvases. So I've got to get into making them, but I'm so glad I found that. That roll there in Australian was 180 bucks, and I got that from Jackson's Art Supply and Drawings there in Balcatta, Perth. And the lady there, geez, I don't even know her name. You'd think I'd have the decency to ask her name, because she helped me out a lot. But she was very helpful as well, and I always like to educate myself when I walk into an art store supply where you're buying all your gear from, because you can never know too much. So this canvas board here is 32 by 34 centimetres. I don't know what I'm going to paint today, but I want to do something for you. I've got a paper towel, a roll of paper towel. Now make sure you beginners, this will just be an easy beginner's one, okay? But it's a really great quality canvas, so I'm looking forward to using that, because I've been using the paper canvas or just this other canvas sheet, but the girl in the shop reckons this is a really good quality. I'll notice the difference, so I've spoilt myself today. I've got me water and me spray bottle. Now, because this is a canvas cloth, I give it a mist of water before I do my thing. And I think I might just do a sky, some water, and I don't know, let's say a rickety jetty or something like that, eh? What do you reckon? All right, I'll pull to the side just so we can show what colours we're going to use in this video anyway. They go up the screen there like that. And pause them and write them down if you want to paint along. All right, now I'm using a good quality acrylic paint, Atelier. It's interactive and it's great. Now, beginners out there, you might start off with the cheap stuff, but do yourself a favour. If you're going to pursue painting and continue your journey in art, do get the good stuff. Try and get good paints, some decent brushes, some good quality canvas. Now with brushes, they don't have to be expensive scientific ones from the art shop. You can get the proper art brushes, fan brushes, chisel brushes, and script liners and that from there, but you can get the good big ones as well, just from hardware stores, whatever works for you. Tissues, foam, they all do good jobs on a canvas, all right? Now down here on the palette, we'll start from the beginning. So I've just got student paint. It's a soft flowing paint. It's a flowing paint, okay? Find that in your art store if you want to blend the way I do. Now we're going to do a sky, for example. So I've got the flowing white paint. This is just to prep my canvas up. We'll get some retarder. And on here on my canvas, because it's canvas cloth, I want to give it a mist of water. So as that paint will fill up a lot of those potholes in the canvas cloth. You know how it has cross-stitching potholes and that? So we want to get this nice big brush to move that paint around. And we just want to, probably going to have the water, so, not the water, I mean the sky. We'll do the sky first. Blend that down to nothing there. I've sprayed the whole board, the whole canvas. Okay, I've done that. It's all pushed in there, any old way. Now just have some decency to brush your strokes out of your work. There we go. Now I don't want you to miss out on anything. I'm showing you everything I do. What have we got here? French ultramarine. I want the sky to be that colour, okay? So we'll get some of that onto the palette like that. And bit of retarder in there as well. Now I've cleaned that brush. I want to pull some of that onto the tips. And we want to do the sky, so I'll start from the top. Now we don't want a dark sky. If anything, you want your skies nice and pale. So I'll start at the top and bring it down to the horizon line. I'll go all the way down to the bottom. I'll change the water later. Okay? Now get your brush on its side now and brush stroke. Well, first let's get it in there. There we go. Now horizontally stroke it across like that. We're not finished yet because I want to add some white in the horizon line. So back down here we're going to grab our white paint out of a tube. I'm going to use titanium white. Okay, just like that. Now I haven't cleaned that brush or nothing. I want to pick it up. Okay. And roughly where I'm going to have my horizon line, I want to put that on and bring it into that blue. And just now I want to work that blue so it's a beautiful transition to that horizon line. We can bring the bottom of the water back out. So if anything, let's get that in there done. Get it in there done. You can see there's a white band in the middle of our sky because that's the sky overhead, and as it's curling down we've got that horizon. Alright, I've got some more titanium white and I have some quinacridone magenta there. I want to try and do some, I don't know, dusk clouds, sunlit clouds type of thing. So I'm not sure, we'll give a bit of this colour here, very lightly mix with here into that first bit of white you had. Get some of the blue because we want this to be sort of a, we can put some of that to lighten it up. I'll grab a bit more because there's not quite, that sky up there on the canvas is very wet. Now let's try and add a bit of yellow into that. That's the colour I want, some sort of colour like that. A little bit more quinacridone. I want that sort of colour. Now I'm going to spray that. Just good about these interactive paints. Now my horizon line's there, so I want these sort of clouds, you know, whispering up from the sky, coming out. But let's stop, grab a blending brush and blend that into the sky, up and down here and there. This is where you need your paper towel or a rag. You always pull off your build-up from when you're blending the way if you're blending the way I do, okay? If you find you're blending the way I do and it doesn't work for you, have a look and make sure you're doing everything right. All right, we've got a bit more there. We'll pull some out here. Let's just stamp these on. It's that easy. And we'll come from there, and all this sky is very wet and retarded still, and we're able to do all this with the colours. All right. Now, what, in my mind, I'm trying to soften some of the edges there. Now we're going to pick up some of the titanium white and we'll get some clouds on top of that. Easy does it. I might need a new blending brush. Let's see. I'm stamping that, stabbing it, wipe the excess off. See here, I want to merge that into that colour I put on there. And if I find it's not merging good enough, I will come back with that other colour that I mixed and reapply it. But these are just clouds over here. And they got some sort of, see what's happening? Now we'll put another white on top of that. Come out into the blue. If anything, I'm leaving the top, wipe the brush, look at it build up. And bring it down. Smudge it around. Now I'll show you what I mean if I've washed too much of that first colour away. But that's looking alright. I'm just going to add a bit there just to show you. Let's say we want to crisp that up a bit. And then we dance that into the white. Okay. And we've got it back. We want to get a bit more on here. Wipe your blending brush. And we've kind of got layers of clouds everywhere. We're just getting rid of the deliberate brush strokes and trying to make it look artistic. Okay, we've got all that colour in the clouds there. I'm getting happy with that. Now we can put, I'll just quickly wash that brush, rinse it, dab it on a paper towel. I'll get some more of that titanium white, make that more in front of there, like just highlight some more of it. Yumminess, putting our yummies there. And keeping a majority of that highlight there and then soften that back down again. So you've, see what you've done there? You've just put some yumminess back. You can do any clouds. I just decided to do something like this, you know. They look alright. Tickle the top a bit just so it looks more artistic. Now I've got that colour again and I've mixed it with some white, some more flow white, just so we could sort of come around and finish this off to the horizon line there, something like that, because we'll put some more white into that as well. And then we want to blend this from the edge, and if anything I want to bleed this edge into this blue sky there, just like that. And then you see all that retarder I put on in the beginning, what it's allowing to happen? And we've made a salmon peachy coloured sky, I suppose. Now we'll put the horizon line in there. We're going to pick up the titanium white and we're going to stamp our cloud on there just like so. Give it a bit of creativity at the top there. Grab your blending brush. And you're going to leave the top bit there and you just want to blend that down now into the atmosphere, okay, which is coming down to like a white haze, I'd like to suppose I'd call it. Go like that all the way along, bringing it down so it's fading into nothing, okay. You can wipe your brush, tickle the top some, just so it's not like an even line done in a factory. And get this down into the atmosphere, right down there. Merge it into that blue. Get it down there, there we go. And fix everything up, we can put the water back. Now I want to make this water probably a bit turquoisey, okay? So we'll get that happening. Now I've got some phthalo turquoise. It's just a turquoise colour. So we'll use that. We'll mix it on the palette. Because I want to get that out of the way. Spray it so it's going to travel a lot more. wet it a bit. There we go. I want to get some white just to lighten it up. There we go. Look at that beautiful turquoise colour. Now we've got a dark and a light turquoise going there. I want to grab some of the darker one. I've just scratched a horizon line there, and I want to get some of the darker turquoise. Get my line reasonably straight. It doesn't have to be factory straight, but this is the darker colour turquoise. It's all this stuff's still wet on the canvas, that's why it's looking light, but I want it a bit wet so I can blend it. Now I want to get this dark turquoise in here. I want to randomly make it dark here and there. Bit of a darkness going here. Up the top there. Now I'm going to pick up the lighter colour. I'll just wipe that brush. Pick up the lighter turquoise, which has got the white in it. And I want to... Geez, it's not really doing a difference, is it? Let's get some more white into it. There we go. It's very well. Probably put a touch of yellow in it, just to give it that different tone. It's just got a little bit of cadmium yellow in there. You see how it's changed it, giving it that green tropical look. Alright, that's all on there. Still mucking around here, just putting the colours where I want. Now we've got to merge all that together. Alright, I've just given that a blow dry with the good old hair dryer. I'll have the rest of my coffee. And now you just want to scratch in, pencil in a jetty. Now, just think, oh, where am I going to get the jetty from? Don't worry about it. You're an artist. You're a becoming artist. You want to travel in your art journey. Make your own jetty. Okay? You can copy mine if you like, or copy it to get an idea how to do a jetty, alright? There's no traceable for this. It's up to you, the artist, to make your own jetty. And if you're not happy with it, it's okay, because the more paintings that you do, the better you become, alright? So you're learning and discovering and developing as you move in your art journey, alright? So I'm just going to do a simple jetty there. We'll grab a pencil or something and whack it on there. Also remember to try and keep things in perspective with your painting. So let's just say this is a jetty coming. You can copy mine, and if you want to copy mine, just pause the video where it's at, screenshot it, and then you have a picture of the jetty. This jetty is going to be way out there somewhere here, and it's going to come like that. So it's coming out, it's one of those long bent ones right out there somewhere. It's just stopped, and who knows, we could put a rock out here in the water as well. Okay, and the gist of our jetty would be planks. So what I want to do is get this dark first and then put the colour of the jetty I want it to be, leaving the darks for the shadow, okay? Okay, these brushes are great for doing this kind of blocking in. They're flathead brushes. I've just got some Mars Black, and I've got some water with it as well, just so it'll come off the brush nice and easy. And we've got two different sizes here, a small and a big one. Maybe I don't need the other one, we'll see. Now let's keep this one pretty basic. So our jetty's there. We want to come across here, try and keep it reasonably straight. Okay, don't have it too wet either, because it could bleed within your fibres of your canvas if you have it too wet. Now we want to come along here. So see this edge now with the side of the brush, it's breaking. So what I'll do for you beginners who don't understand, get the brush on its edge, and then you're cutting it in that way, and that line would stay sharper to the outside edge. Look at that, all the way to the outside edge, that stayed sharp. You can do the same on the other side where you want it sharp, cutting it in with the tip of the brush. See, it's sharp on the outside edge, but inside it's not. Then you can just wiggle it to the edge. Get to the edge by wiggling, and then you can come away in the middle here and stroke the hell out of it, okay, like that. And then once you put all this paint on, do be sure to brush your strokes out, just so it's got more pride in your work. Okay, so get all that on there like so. And then the planks are going this way, so I'll be smart enough and intelligent enough to stroke it horizontally. Okay, just so they won't hinder you painting your planks in there. Now any beginners that find this might be too hard, just copy this jetty, it'll be simple. Simple but effective. Let's put our rock in. So the water is flat. You want to keep the base of your rock flat. If you move it, which is fine, so long as the movements are flat and horizontal, then the top of your rock can be whatever shape you want it to be. I'm just doing this as an example, okay? So we've just blocked that in with the basic black. Alright. Now from this point to that point, the jetty's going that way, but obviously it's turned around the corner a bit. So we're going to use this brush, wet it a little bit more, just so we can get some beautiful, easy legs in the water. So we'll come, if anything, on a line like that. I'll show you what I mean. So the first one is here. From that point, the next one is that big there. Okay. Now, if you want, you can do this. I'll just grab a bit of tape. Just for those people that might be a bit... See there and there. I don't want to put that on too thick. I don't want to pull the paint off it. And then we can put our post in. Use this to get some very... like that, see? Now we want them very close up this end here. Not too fat though, Ian. Golly, Sergeant Carter, look at them. Get them all cluttered up. And then you can come further apart as you come to the front of your painting. There we go. Something like that. Because they've got other bits and pieces in there. I better bring that one to the bottom because it just won't look right. Okay? And you'll see that'll do. Let's hope we didn't. Can you see what we've done there? So we've made a jetty go out to this lake, water, beach, ocean, whatever it is. Just to get that rock out the way, I've just got some Van Dyke brown here, and I want to pull some of it down and bring some white into it as well, just like that. So we've got two colours there. We've got the lighter Van Dyke brown and the darker one. Alright, then what we'll do, get all that mixed there, and pick up the straight Van Dyke brown and give this rock, hang on, I'm just brushing the clumps off the edge of the brush. I've just got any sort of brush. We want to leave some dark in that rock as well, okay? So just sort of willy-nilly bring that around like so. Leave the dark against the water so we can highlight that with actual water washing against it. But we've left some black. We've left, well, not we left, but we have the Van Dyke brown. Now I'll just wipe that brush and pick up the lighter colour that I mixed. And it's sort of rubbery and chalky now, and I want to just highlight this in some certain areas, just to make some sort of aspect of a rock. I'm not the greatest at rocks, but we ought to try something, don't we, eh? There's some sort of rock. A little bit more somewhere. And if you think, oh, you put too much light on it, don't worry. I'm going to show you exactly what I mean. Come back with the darks. Like, I'll just show you. See there? That's not a bad rock. But it's like, oh my goodness. I wish I left some of the darkness there. So pick some of it up again. The black that we did the actual rock with. And just get the shadow under there. Put some back again. And it's that easy. Alright, I've dried everything. Every time this black I blow dried. I blow dried that before I put the browns on there. Now I've got my flathead brush and I'm going to chisel the edge of that with some white paint. So this will act like my knife. Probably get some of that flowing paint in there. Okay, because we want to sit that rock onto water. Just something simple and effective for you beginners out there. Now nothing too violent, just very thinly. How's that work? Yep, it's just looking like water's washing against the edge of this island slash rock, whatever it may be. Okay? Nothing too heavy. And see why I use this flathead brush? It's not as scary as a knife. Now for the jetty, I'm using this colour here that we mixed up before, and I have some ultramarine blue there as well, just a little bit, just so I'm getting this colour here, okay? So we want to mix that enough, because we want that sort of grey, silvery, bluey look to suit the values of the tones in the water and the sky. So I'm just trying to get this to where I want it. And then we'll come up to the jetty and map in the rickety-rackety planks. Yeah, can you see that going to like a silvery... Oh, it's probably not silvery, but in my mind I see that as that colour. It's sort of like that bluey... That's the colour I want. Now, I've just gone and taped the edge of me black outline of the jetty up, just so as I can keep everything nice and easy. It takes a bit of time to do this, but if you take the effort to put that on there, you'll get a better job. Now, we've got our paint ready to go, so we want to virtually leave some darks there and just sort of bring this across periodically, and I want to leave this front edge, if anything, dark. So let's say from about there, knowing where to leave the darks. Okay, and then all this just gets done with white highlights. See, if that tape wasn't there, this will be a bit of a mission for me. But anyway, now we want to get some planks here. So we just do the front ones first. Let them do it any old way that feels rickety. You want them, the top edge I want sharp. And the inside can be all scratched and broken to create old timbers. Now we get that there. Now I have dried that black. This will have different values put over it, but at the moment we're doing this colour first. We'll do another one. We want to keep some black joins here and there. Doesn't matter if they fall in on themselves. It's an old rickety jetty, remember? And if you feel that you've gone too much in your black, like I've said before, just add it back, add it back. So let's get some of these on there. I want to wet that paint a bit more just so it's transferring a lot better. I'll virtually put them where I want them first. Come a bit thinner as you go up. You don't want them all the same width. Okay. And see what I mean about putting that tape there. It made life a lot easier. And then we'll try and get some other values into this structure. Yeah, I'm not too fussed about hurting the black lines because I can put them back for detail. Getting a lot more white into that mix now. A lot more of that white. Let's put it in with the blue because I don't want it to go on the greeny mix. I want it the bluey mix, if anything. Now we want a lot of white now. So it's highlighted. I probably should have. I want to highlight certain areas of this surface of the jetty here. Just like this. And you can see by having that tape there, it's helped make these strokes a lot more achievable. Now, like I said, you've lost some of the black. Wash that brush. Pick up your black and just carefully on the edge of your brush, get back where you want the black. Like so. Look at that, it was that easy. And the sharper you can make all this black, like here, you could even dry this if you want before you do this. This is really going to give it some pizzazz. Give it that bullshit effect. Go all over the place. Be artistic. And we want to get a bit and then again, if you think you've done too much of this, go back over it with the light again. Now that, before we finish, I want to make sure this edge is darker there. I don't want it a straight line though. How are we looking there? I want some more. Just alright, I'm just looking at it and I just want to finally get those blacks highlighted again where we might have lost some of it. Just kill some of those heavy lines. We can detail it later if you think there's more work to do, but that'll do. Now let's pull that tape off and just see how our jetty's looking. Let's hope I didn't push it on too hard because you don't want to peel your paint off the canvas and ruin your actual painting. See, I've got to touch that up there. A little bit came off there. I'll show you how to do that. But there's our simple jetty going over the water. Okay, now I would like to get a bit of a shadow coming under the jetty legs there, so I'm just picking up the turquoise, letting it sort of dry off the brush, this flat chisel one, but I'm sort of fairing it out a bit on the edge of the brush because I want to maybe from about there just sort of see if this is going to work as some shadow under the jetty, you know. You don't have to do this if you're happy with the way it looks, but shadows really give the paintings their aspects of realism. That'll do, that's reasonable. Alright, it's a simple jetty, but for some reason I feel something's missing here. So the beginning of the pole, I'm just going to put something there like that. So we're using the same colours we used as the jetty, so we're putting a bit of a rickety pole. Okay, now I've blow dried that and I'm grabbing the paint that we mixed up for the jetty, the bluer side colour of it, just to get our bit of a pole there. It'll help if I put the camera on the canvas, won't it? That's why I need a director. They could say, whoa, Ian, you've not got the camera on the... Okay, we got that there. Now we're going to get a bit more darker blue, pulling the blue out of that a bit more. And looking at this, leaves some of the black, but this blue is becoming the darker colour. Okay, it's sort of purple. And then we'll highlight this as well. Get a bit more blue on there. Nothing worse than watching a tutorial and the artist is doing his work and nothing's coming off the brush, eh? Now we'll just highlight it, get some white. I'm not worried if the how's that? That'll do. Just want to put a bit of a string in it, or a rope, so we'll put the shadow for it, which is there. Wet the paint, and we'll just bring that off the painting like so. And that's the shadow of it through the pole. Alright, I've achieved pretty much what I wanted to show you, so I'll just put my autograph on here. Okay, so we got something done today, a simple jetty over some tropical sort of lake or ocean area and a beautiful type of sky, okay? Like I said, check out the links in the description below for my Facebook and my video library. Add me as a friend if you like. So, if you like what I've done, tell your friends, but if you don't, tell everybody, alright? All the best, goodbye, good luck, and good on ya!